Welcome to Evangelism FAQ, a Grow video series addressing common fears and misunderstandings about mission. Today's question: is Adventist education a form of public evangelism? Mark, what do you think?
Well, I would say absolutely, and we are blessed to have Adventist schools that have prepared countless young people to have relationships with Jesus Christ and be ready for His kingdom.
Amen.
But we need to remember the primary purpose our schools was established was not just to win our students to Christ, but to prepare them as missionaries to win the world to Christ.
That's right.
Listen to a few statements here from Inspiration. This is found in the book Fundamentals of Education, page 489. It says, "Our schools have been established by the Lord, and if they are conducted in harmony with His purpose, the youth sent to them will quickly be prepared to engage in various lines of missionary work." Similarly, in the book Evangelism 474, it says, "Our students are to be educated to become Bible workers," which is somebody who goes and shares the truth with Bible studies with other people. And lastly, Testimonies for the Church, Volume 6, page 198 says, "Wherever there are a few Sabbath keepers, the parents should unite in providing a place for a day school where their children and youth can be instructed. They should employ a Christian teacher who, as a consecrated missionary, shall educate the children in such a way as to lead them to become missionaries."
So the Christian teacher has to be a missionary in order to be able to train them to be missionaries.
That's right.
That's incredible. One of the problems I think that we can run into with this particular topic is if we look at it as an either-or situation.
Yes.
If the education, and I've been to churches where they don't want to put money into literature, they don't want to put money into Bible study ministry or public evangelistic meetings because their reason is the school is our evangelism.
There's a lot of expense.
There's a lot of expense there.
Yes.
So they say the school is our evangelism. We understand that there's expense related to that, but there's got to be a way to have other evangelistic activity going on. And the primary reason is what you just stated.
Yes.
If we are to be training our students to be missionaries, then there has to be an active missionary outlet for them to be trained in.
That's right. There has to be a training ground.
That's exactly right. And if they don't have that, then we're actually teaching them to be complacent.
Yes.
That's why that quote you said that you read to us that said the teacher had to be a missionary is so important, because there needs to be a teacher who's a missionary, and there needs to be a church connected with that school that's active in missionary activity in order for the students to learn how to become missionaries.
That's right. Another challenge that comes in if a church views their church school as their only form of public evangelism, or even their primary form, what you can do is effectively rule out a lot of people. For one, those who don't attend the school, even those who have attended that school. Let's say a young person because we have young people who attend our schools and they hear a lot of things about truth, but they don't make their own personal commitment to Christ. Well, then they go beyond that age. And now, if that's our only avenue of evangelism, public evangelism, how do we reach those who are beyond that sphere?
Right.
It effectively rules them out.
There's a lot of people who are older, who have never been connected to our schools, and people in our communities who will never be in our school. And while we
Even young people who didn't attend.
So while we're working with our young people, we need to also make sure that we have an active evangelistic outlet outside. So I think the answer to the question today, yes, Adventist education has been and will continue to be a vital way to lead young people to Christ. Perhaps even more foundational to Adventist education is training those young people
to become disciples of Christ.
To become disciples of Christ who are missionaries who reach many, many other people, so that we're multiplying our efforts and ultimately keeping that growth cycle alive, the cycle of evangelism, where everyone who is one wins another.
Amen.
That's our hope for you as you focus on Adventist education. Make sure that your church has active outlets for evangelistic activity to train those students so that we can make many disciples, many young missionaries. And I believe that as you do, the Lord will bless your labors and grow your church.